It's the Sports Algorithm Bundle podcast. It's the podcast where we go over all these sports algorithms that I've created in Microsoft Excel, how they did yesterday. Sometimes we'll talk a little bit about today, but generally we're just going to go over yesterday's results and we're going to talk about what we can learn from the algorithms and make them better every day. I'm willing to spend that time in the mornings to get that done, and here we are. So pretty good day yesterday, with the exception of college basketball, which we'll talk about more toward the end, which had a very lackluster day. First of all, college football, an algorithm I don't work very much on. I just checked the results from the first few days this week, and all of these teams have won: Toledo, Ohio, Miami of Ohio, Northern Illinois, and Eastern Michigan. Points were not excellent, but okay. So it doesn't necessarily help you out all that much on spreads and over-unders. Look like they were 3-2. And I don't know what some of these lines were because I just grabbed odds after Tuesday. But all of these teams won. They were probably all favorites as well, but they all won. So yay. Today, the 16th, there's one game, and it barely favors Boston College at an underdog line over Pittsburgh. So we'll see. Their strength of schedule is a little worse than Pittsburgh, but they have a better record. I saw Pittsburgh was 2-8, and Boston College is a positive winning record. So maybe this is a good underdog pick. I don't trust the college football algorithm all that much, but that is what it says today. And if you do one thing, apparently it's take Boston College. So that's college football. Let's go over to NFL and stick with the football frame of mind here for the next few minutes. Ravens and Bengals. I am talking about the Thursday night game. I'm not going to go over the rest of the week. If you'd like copies of all these algorithms, $69, and you get today's version of every one of these 5 algorithms: college football, NFL, college basketball, NBA, and NHL. You get all of them. So let's go back to football. Does say the Ravens win this game pretty handily. Thinks they more than cover the spread, coming off a really rough loss on Sunday. It was, Sunday night or Sunday later in the day, to lose a tough game to Cleveland somehow. Cincinnati lost the game, I believe, to Houston last week as well. Both these teams kind of fighting. Ravens at 7-3, looking to try to lock down probably a division championship at the record that they're at. So I think Lamar wants to win this game. They are at home. Cincinnati has been lackluster this season, sometimes playing well, but other times not playing well. I think coming off that loss, this score about makes sense, and you can see the Ravens winning by more than a touchdown and covering. So over-under is set very close to where the total points are, but the pick is apparently the Ravens to win, and that's a pick that I would make would be the Ravens to win today on a parlay or round robin. So that's NFL. Let's go over to NBA. NBA had a 5-3 day. Was okay. But there were a couple things I didn't like to see on here. One is I did not like seeing the Raptors on here being healthier than the Bucks and just getting absolutely destroyed. Raptors have not been playing well recently. They lose by 16 points here. And also the Timberwolves lose by 18 points to the Suns. I didn't quite understand that either. So what I did is I reran the macro. I ran the macro, which is a way you can test all the distributions in this file. And this is what I got. And a couple of more than a couple, 17 of the combinations actually went 6-2. So I grabbed combo number 69, everybody. 69 is the lucky number right now. Combo number 69 makes this a 6-2 day. And that's the combo I'm going to go with today on the 16th. Still has the Raptors down here winning somehow, and still has the Timberwolves winning, but the rest of the games it gets correct, and it also gets the points very, very close. That's why I chose it. Look at this. 127 ends up being 130. 117 ends up being 115. Here you have a lower scoring game for the Wizards. They end up putting up fewer points, even though you're overestimating the amount of points for the Mavericks here. Very close on a lot of these games. Here's a 110, 109, 113 ends up being 112, 115 ends up being 116. So this projection and this combination string of number 69 worked better on Wednesday, and we'll go with that on Thursday. I've not updated Thursday yet. It's for people who purchased the copy today or who've already purchased a copy and want to run it themselves. So not a bad day for NBA. I did take a few teams here in NBA yesterday, and I lost with Toronto, but I did win with the Mavericks, and I won with somebody else. I won with the Celtics as well. And I believe I won with was it Cleveland? I can't remember. I won with a few of these. I didn't win every game. I didn't remember losing the Toronto game, but the other games was okay. So that's NBA, not a bad day. Let's go to college basketball. We'll finish with NHL. So college basketball, this was a day of abnormal upsets. And you can see this not just by the algorithm having a lackluster day of 19-9 under current season stats, but also the teams that lost. I mean, South Florida right here at the top of the list, minus 1,800, goes down. Seattle to Northern Arizona goes down. Northern Arizona led this game the entire way. I mean, wow, right? East Carolina against an injured South Carolina upstate with a terrible strength of schedule. At least there was that pointed out that maybe they were a little overrated, but minus 1,000 goes down, right? Here's an underdog that loses on the road. So that's the algorithm missing. And then this game, Utah Valley, this is the one I actually looked at because I did not like seeing this. I saw this plus 235 for Utah Valley and thought, why are the odds makers getting this game so right and we are getting this game so wrong? And so I did look it up, and I'll show you what it shows about that game in a second. Portland minus 575 goes down, fights back, but still loses by a bunch. Duquesne, a little bit injured at least. That makes sense. Nicholls State down here with a better strength of schedule, and Richmond and underdog. So really a pretty piss poor day for the underdogs on this list, if I must say so myself. The underdogs ended up going 3-3. What about games that were just chosen games? These are games that were consistent from current year and last year. You end up being 17-6, a little bit better. And your underdogs on this list are 1-1 with Fairleigh Dickinson winning, but that Utah Valley losing, which is why I want to talk about that Utah Valley game. So it just was not a great day for college basketball. And it wasn't a great day even for the odds makers as well, with all these favorites up here losing. So I went into the standing sheet and I highlighted the two teams that we were comparing in this Utah Valley and Charlotte game to figure out what was happening. And I could see that Utah Valley was undefeated so far this season before losing that game yesterday. Charlotte was 1-1. Utah Valley had apparently some weaker opponents, which really inflated their score. You can see their strength of schedule was minus 5.7 versus a 3. So there was this drastic differential between the strength of schedule that was causing this. And so when you see something like a minus 8.71 here, you have to be very careful, especially on the road. It doesn't save you in the Radford game. Radford had played really good teams starting off the season. So they have this excellent strength of schedule. So they look like a decent pick, but they just lost, and they lost by 23 to VCU. So now they didn't show up in past year stats. They're a non-chosen game. So at least you could have stayed away from that because it wasn't consistent from last year to this year. So there's that. It's why it's important to look at both current year and past year. You know, we go 19-9 in current year. The past year record for the day was 20-8, slightly better. And top down, it looks a little better. You don't have those upsets right at the top. You know, South Florida's all the way down here now. Portland's down here. Seattle's down here. So at least it lowers these games that lost. And so it just shows you that past year's still slightly better, but you want to look at both. You know, you do want to look at both, and this is the time of year when you want to look at both current year, past year, and you want to try to use this chosen slicer to focus on games. So not a great day for college basketball. Hopefully today will be better. I'll be preparing that after this video. Let's finish off with NHL, where I also will be showing the projections for the day, today being Thursday, in NHL. Yesterday, it goes 2-2, okay? But that's a little better than 2-2. You have an underdog plus 210 Philadelphia winning. I had them, and they won. Very good. Edmonton comes back to tie this game at 3 in regulation and win in overtime. Who bet the draw at plus 4? I think it was 460. I did. And I won. That was awesome. That's why I won. I won like $1,000 yesterday. I actually had a good day yesterday for the first time in a while. So yeah, I'm betting again. Can't stop. I know. So Edmonton, there's the draw. Awesome. Great. that happens, and they win. Anaheim, no. Anaheim, no. Anaheim, no. Lucas Dostal was literally a tutor shooter in the third period of that game, and Colorado just went berserk and turned this into just more and more and more goals in the third period. Colorado, so this is a miss. It's when the algorithm got wrong, but you know what algorithm got right? Vancouver coming back and winning. I had Vancouver at plus 240 in the first period when they went down 2-0, and they came back to beat the Islanders because the Islanders are on a long road trip and Vancouver's at home. So good for this. This is a pretty good day for the algorithm, especially given that I said play the draw here, and I did in that one. Awesome. How about Thursday? We have a big slate today. What does it say? There's a game that starts in an hour and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's in Stockholm, Sweden. Detroit is playing Ottawa at Avisil Arena in Stockholm. Get ready for some Scandinavian hockey, everybody, with USA teams. Will Detroit win? I don't know. We'll see. Reimer against Korpisalo. I don't know why they haven't confirmed Korpisalo yet. Detroit has some offense this year, says they can beat Ottawa and Sweden. All bets are off when you are in the North Sea. Is it the North Sea? The Arctic Ocean? I don't know. You're way up there. You're somewhere in between Norway and Finland. That's where you are. And I think Sweden's between Norway and Finland. Sure hope so. We'll see if Detroit wins that game. Should be fun to watch at 2:00 as you've got some midday hockey. I think you should have one game in Europe or Scandinavian countries every day. Just send Arizona and Columbus over there to just play all the time in Iceland or something, right? So we can have 4:00 start games. Just go ahead and do that. Don't worry about volcanoes. Just play those games. All right. So it says Detroit. What else do we have? We have Arizona and Columbus. Closer game that Arizona can win with, unfortunately, some weaker goaltenders. Both these goaltenders here. Arizona can win that game. It's okay. Vegas and Montreal. Vegas coming off of getting shut out by Washington. Now you're going up against my favorite coach, Martin St. Louis. Aiden Hill going instead of Logan Thompson. Vegas probably wants to win this game. You can see that they are heavily favored to win a lower scoring game, about a 4-1 game that Vegas can win there, between 4-1 and 6-1. We'll see if that happens. New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh playing pretty good hockey. Jersey giving up a lot of goals. If Vanacek is going, you can see his goalie rating is lower. And yeah, Pittsburgh, it's a pretty strong pick. They've been playing well. So yeah, big, huge difference here. Pittsburgh is a good pick. It's actually the number 1 pick, according to the algorithm, to win at only -132. So keep that in mind. Tampa Bay and Chicago. Bedard, all he does is score goals. Will they beat Tampa Bay, a team that has not been playing well? Algorithm is a little torn on this game. Says go with Chicago at the underdog line with better goaltending, assuming Johansson goes. You know, Tampa Bay is without Vasilevsky due to injury for a good chunk of the season. I think it's a back injury or something significant. He hasn't played at all. So Tampa Bay is really looking for goaltending. And Chicago, you know, Bedard is coming into his own. I would not bet against Chicago right now. And the algorithm says don't bet against Chicago, even though empirically they should lose this game like 3-2, but it could be like a tie. So this is a pretty juicy underdog line for Chicago. And that's what the algorithm is saying to go with. Vancouver, back-to-back game up against Calgary. Vancouver's still playing great, going with their second stringer, Casey DeSmith, who still has a better goaltender rating than Jacob Markstrom. A lot of strength here. Underdog line. Once again, algorithm picking off another underdog on here to take in Vancouver. Islanders, another game against Seattle, who just also played last night. Says both these teams are going to be tired and have trouble putting in goals. Varlamov going against Grubauer. It's really a pick'em game. If anything, it looks like an under in this situation, showing only 4 goals total between the two teams. Florida and LA. Cam Talbot with a pretty good rating against Bobrovsky. Okay, here's another game with pretty good goaltenders and high strength. Excellent game. Wow. One of the best games of the day, apparently. LA against Florida. Says LA can win this, but it says take Florida because of streaks and Florida playing well. Interesting game here. Very tough game to play. Very, very tough game to play. It's just pick them all around, even in terms of over-unders, because you've got good goaltending, but it still says there's 6 goals. So it's just very, very difficult game to play. Probably just a good game to watch, and expect a really high fought battle there. St. Louis and San Jose. You don't ever really favor San Jose anymore. St. Louis, yeah, supposed to win. San Jose does not put up a lot of shots, and they're just struggling, even though they've won a couple games now this year. So, you bet against San Jose basically is what you do right now. And so it would be St. Louis. So that's the update. If you would like the bundle, it's $69. You get all 5 of the algorithms, and you'll get them all updated for today, Thursday, November 16th, because I'm going to update them all after this video right now. So good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning.